Janice Jen shares what everybody on tour knows about Alexandria Eala after beating her in Sao Paulo. Janice Jen has spoken glowingly about Alexandria Eala after their meeting yesterday in Sao Paulo, with the former coming out on top. This clash pitted two history-making Southeast Asians who are doing remarkable, trailblazing things for their respective countries. On one hand, Jen is forging a new legacy, given that a select few top players have emerged from Indonesia in the past. Meanwhile, Eala is a completely new commodity for the Philippines, and so, with each passing tournament, she seems to create a new piece of history. Clearly, the latter's talent is renowned across the WTA Tour and beyond, with Jen's post-match comments emphasizing that. Janice Jen reacts to beating Alexandria Eala in Sao Paulo. Speaking on court after beating Eala in 2 straightforward sets, Jen began by assessing her level after reaching a career-first WTA semifinal. She admitted, "It still feels unbelievable to me, and still it hasn't hit yet, but all I can say, I'm pretty happy with how I play today." Then asked what made the difference, the 23-year-old added, "I think just like focusing on every point, because like playing against somebody like Alex Eala, we all know that she can come back at any time, and I'm just trying to focus and stay in it until the end." Jen concluded by praising her serve, noting, Yeah, I mean, we've been working on it. It's kind of nice that it's starting to pay off, so yeah." Eala was recently asked if she'd like women to play best-of-5 sets at Grand Slams earlier this year, as people clamor to hear her opinion on such hot topics. Who is Indonesian tennis star Janice Jen? Born in Jakarta, Indonesia, she began playing tennis from a very young age. However, due to costs and a lack of facilities in her home country, Jen's family thought it best to enroll her in the American college system, starting with the University of Oregon, and later graduating from Pepperdine University. There, she began to hone her skills, with 2025 marking the real breakthrough for Jen. Having just reached the semifinals of the Sao Paulo Open, a few weeks after emerging through U.S. Open qualifying to play and win her very first Grand Slam main draw match too, the last month has been revolutionary. It feels like, with a strong end to the season, 2026 could be the year when Jen truly announces herself as a tangible threat on the WTA Tour. The sun hung low in the Brazilian sky, casting a golden hue over the Sao Paulo clay as Janice Jen sat on a bench just outside the players' lounge, her racket bag still slung over one shoulder. Her victory over Alexandria Eala was still fresh, both in her body and her mind. A few journalists were lingering, unsure whether to approach. She just pulled off the kind of win that turns heads on the ITF circuit, not because she wasn't capable, but because Alexandria Eala was, well, Alexandria Eala. Jen looked up, caught the eye of a reporter she vaguely recognized from previous tournaments, and offered a small, composed smile. "Sure," she said, before they even asked. "I'll talk." And what she said next surprised nearly everyone. "Alexandra's a beast. Let's just get that out of the way." Janice Jen wasn't the type to embellish. Straight-backed, soft-spoken, with the kind of tone that made you listen not because she demanded it, but because she rarely wasted words. "She doesn't just play tennis," she continued, adjusting the wrap on her wrist. "She consumes it. She's always in the match, always in your head. If she's down 0-4, she still plays like she's about to win 6-4. That's the thing everybody on tour knows, whether they say it out loud or not." Jen wasn't the first to beat Alexandria Eala, and certainly wouldn't be the last, but her win in Sao Paulo was symbolic. Not an upset, exactly. More like a shift. A signal that Eala, though a star, was not untouchable. What everyone knows. Janice sipped from her water bottle and glanced over toward the courts, where a few players were grinding through afternoon drills. Everyone has their image of Alex, the prodigy from the Philippines, Rafa's academy graduate, WTA wildcard, social media darling. But on tour, she's something else entirely. She's real. She's intense. Jen paused, and she knows she's the one people want to beat. On the circuit, Eala carried weight. Her presence was heavy, not in a bad way, but in the way a veteran actor commands a scene. She had that aura, even at just 20. "You feel it when she walks on court," Jen said. You feel the pressure to prove that you belong on the same side of the net. But Sao Paulo was different. Janice did belong, and she proved it. The match. It was a 3-set battle. Red clay clinging to socks, elbows, racket handles. Points stretched into marathons, and rallies dipped into the absurd. Topspin forehands, drop shots, lobs, a few desperate tweeners. But Janice had found something that day. Something in herself. I didn't go in thinking, I'm going to beat Alex today. Honestly, I just wanted to play my game, see where I could take her. But somewhere in the second set, when I broke back and held for 4-3, I realized I wasn't just surviving out there. I was playing. The third set was a blur. One break of serve, a couple of nervy service games, and then it was done. Janice had won. Eala, ever the competitor, shook hands firmly and gave a nod of respect. No drama, just the silent language of two athletes who knew exactly what had transpired. She didn't have to say anything. Janice said. The look in her eyes said enough. The myth and the human. Janice's win, of course, trigger headlines. Some called it a shock. Others framed it as a lesson for Eala. But to Jen, it wasn't a lesson for anyone, just part of the grind. Alex isn't a myth, she said. She's human. People on the outside look at her resume, the Grand Slam juniors, the endorsements, the hype, and forget that she's out here, same as the rest of us. Traveling, training, struggling, winning, losing. Jen leaned forward slightly, almost conspiratorially. You know what everybody on tour really knows about Alex. She works harder than most. You don't win the stuff she's won just on talent. She's disciplined. She's got that Rafa mindset. Play every point like your life depends on it. There's respect in Janice's voice. Not awe, not intimidation, just clear-eyed acknowledgement. She'll be back, probably already training right now. Inside the locker room, behind the scenes, the image of Alexandria Eala is more textured than fans might expect. She's quiet, but not distant, Janice offered. Observant. You'll catch her watching other matches, noting things. She doesn't waste time. If she's not playing, she's recovering or reviewing film. And when she does talk, she's sharp, she gets the game. One memory stood out. A few months ago, we were both in Portugal for a smaller tournament. Rain delays stretched the day into chaos. Some girls were complaining. Others were just lying around. Alex, she found a wall behind the locker room and started doing footwork drills in the mud. Just her and a coach with a stopwatch. No Instagram. No attention. Just work.